Hello there, heartbeats. So we are recording live on this platform because one of my colleagues, a very good friend of mine, stopped by, and I was like, "Hey, I just finished doing an interview. Let me talk about you because she is a true star, and you know I always have special guests. So she is one, and I want to welcome you to the Heartbeat Station, where you can tune in and turn it up. All right. And this is where you'll meet holistic practitioners and discover how they assist you or someone that you know to the much better living, healthier lifestyles. So maybe you or someone that you know would benefit from this. So share it. My name, for those who are tuning in for the very first time, is Sharon, known as the Heart Lady. And here is my guest, Star, Coach Star.
First of all, she is so modest. It's actually Dr. Sharon Reed. And before we became friends, I want to tell a little truth. She actually helped heal my heart. I was in a relationship that was unique, and she helped heal me. And after that, we developed a friendship. So,
Oh, thank you for
Dr.
that.
Sharon, yes.
Thank you for that. I honor that. And so you are also an author
Yes.
and you're a media host. I understand that you're getting ready to have a podcast. So
Yes,
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 so we'll have to send that information.
yes,
But as a transformational and bereavement coach,
yes.
Star, tell me, how did you get into that specifically the bereavement? How did you get
Absolutely.
started in that?
Well, in our journey, we never know which way we want to go in life.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be a nurse. And I started out going to nursing school, and nursing was not for me.
Mhm.
So my degree is in health marketing and communication.
Yes.
I wanted a purposeful job. And out of all of the different specialties I worked with, I worked in dialysis and then I worked in hospice.
Mm.
And from hospice, birth bereavement. There was a great need of healing, of grief, of depression that goes on with that sort of movement,
Yeah.
and that just carried on and transcended to bigger things for me.
You have to really have a special and caring heart. At the
Yes.
same time, be very you have to be sensitive, but at the same
Yes.
time, you have to be tough because when you're working with people who are going through their transition from this life to another life,
Yes.
You're dealing with the family members,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And the person also who is going through the changes. So, I totally honor that, Star, because a lot of people don't have family or a circle of support.
Yes.
So you are that for them. And to be able to work with them, and I imagine the caregivers as well.
Yes, it is a team of us. Hospice is services provided. A lot of misconception about that. Do you mind if I touch on that briefly?
No, please, please.
So a lot of people think hospice is end of life, and what that means is literally they get on the service and your loved one is going to die immediately. Not the case.
Yeah.
We cater, we love on you, you love on your family. We are your one-stop clinical shop that goes to you. So hospice is a team. We have the medical director, we have, which is the doctor, the physician, we have the nurse, the RN, registered nurse comes out. They will go to your home, check on your loved one. The CNAs, oh, I have a special love for CNAs. They will clean, wash, bathe, love on your loved one. We have volunteers, bereavement coordinators, chaplains, all covered 100% with Medicare. And so it's a service. Your durable medical equipment is covered. As far as supplies, if you need briefs, if you need chucks, those are hundreds of dollars, and hospice covers that.
Wow.
So definitely look into hospice if your loved one, you do have to have a diagnosis, a terminal ill diagnosis within 6 months or less. But some of our patients, residents have been on our services for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So yes,
really,
absolutely,
2-3 years.
2-3 years, absolutely. You're just proving that the patient is declining each time, and if you can prove that, then they can stay on the services. And some get well and get off. So please, it's misconception.
It is a misconception once you're there. Unfortunately, I had to put my mother on on hospice.
Mm.
And when you talk about the care,
Mm.
I was used to the hospital setting where, I would help turn, help
Yes.
move, help wash, and do most of the care. When I went to hospice, they was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "I'm just gonna, no, no, no. Sit, we got this." I
Yes.
said, "But no, no, no. This
No.
is her time. We got you, not just
Absolutely.
her, but you too. We're
Absolutely.
here to take care of both of you." And I was
Yes.
like, "Really?"
Yes.
And she said, "We got it. Don't worry
Mhm.
about it." And just the loving and
Yes.
the pastoral care that came around, and they weren't just for the patient, they
Mhm.
were also for me. If you ever need to talk,
Yes.
I'm here for you.
Absolutely.
And I just got to share. I know this is about you, Star, but
No,
you
no, it's
open up
all
hospice.
no.
Yeah.
It's all love.
And
Yes.
I'll never forget this, and this is why I had to bring it up and share, because it may support and help benefit someone who is watching this heartbeats.
Yes.
So the pastor said to me, and so now, um, my mother was comatose at that time, and she says, "Well, even when she's gone, you'll be able to talk with her, call upon her when you need her," which intellectually I knew because I've
Mhm.
always been in the medical care space and I've
Yeah.
watched people transition out many times.
Mhm.
But of course, when it's your own, it's a whole different story,
Yes.
right? And so she said, "If you're stuck, just call on her." And
Mhm.
so my sister and I were going to invite her co-workers to her homegoing services. And the funeral parlor called and said, "Y'all have to pick out a dress." And I was like, "This is the last day. We need it by 2 o'clock."
Yeah.
And so my sister was like, "We've been asking, we've been looking, we can't find the perfect dress for her."
Mhm.
So we decided to just walk. Oh, no, before that, I said, "You know what?" The pastor said, "We need to ask her." So
Mhm.
in the middle of the sidewalk,
Mhm.
we stood there, hold hands, and
Yes.
called upon her and said, "We need some guidance. We need to know what to do, where to get your stuff."
Absolutely.
And so we walked. And then we walked and we saw this little narrow store, and we walked into the store and we were, sad. And she said, "How can I help you?" I said, "Well, I have to find something for our mother." And she says, "Oh," and I said, "Yeah, she used to work at the hospital up the road." She says, "Oh, what's her name?" And we told her name. She says, "Oh, she comes in here all the time.
Oh, wow.
She
That
comes in
is,
here all the time."
yes.
She went to the back, something special for her, because I know how she dresses.
Yeah.
And when she brought out the dress, my sister and I looked at each other and said, "That's the one."
Yes.
So it really was just,
And so now we're tapping into the supernatural. And
yes,
we,
that's where
for
we
those
are.
of you who understand the supernatural, death is only life, so close to us. So if you have questions for your loved ones, if you see flickering of the lights, if you smell a scent,
Mm,
they're just letting you know they are really, really close by and they're listening to you.
yes.
So you don't have to grieve alone. You talk to them, write a love letter to them and read it out loud to them. So death is really not too far away, guys.
That's right.
Yes.
And I would say it's definitely in your heart, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you for allowing me to share that, but I
Sure.
thought that it was very relative to what
I
you were
agree.
talking about.
Mhm.
And so tell me, what is, I'm gonna ask you two questions when it comes to bereavement, especially in hospice. I know that you have a plethora of stories.
Okay.
So what is one of the strangest stories that you've heard, or not that you heard of, that you experienced as you were supporting
Yes.
a client through bereavement?
The unfinished business.
Mm,
Um, as a patient was transitioning, we have something called last wish.
mhm,
And they didn't see their loved one. And I know this is supernatural, but this is really dear. And then I'll tie it all in. They wanted to talk to their loved one because they've been estranged from years and for years. And I always ask, do you need to make any amendments?
mhm.
So we located her son as a last minute wish. We got them on pretty much like what you're doing, FaceTime each other, and she started just truly telling, "I'm so sorry for all the things that I did, said, hurt you, put you into this dark state of mind. Please forgive me. I love you." after he forgave her,
Mhm.
she passed away. She
Mm.
passed away quickly, and she needed to have that release.
Mhm.
And so from that, literally the passing, you can smell the flowers. You could, it was so
Really?
quick.
Mm.
We knew that she was taken away in a different place, a
Mhm.
beautiful place.
Mhm.
We don't know what goes on after death, only, well, some people do. That's another story. But
Mhm.
anyway, that was a supernatural story because I didn't know that it would happen that fast.
Mhm.
I thought it would take time.
Mhm.
And so that was one of the beautiful stories that I
Wow.
experienced.
Yeah.
Yes,
And so you all, the team or who was in the room,
yes,
smelt it as she
absolutely.
passed through.
Yes.
But it always suggests when you said that she needed to get things off of her chest,
Yeah.
reach out to your loved
Mhm.
one and don't wait until you have to give the flowers at the parlor.
I
Give the
agree.
flowers as they are living
Yes.
and you remember and experience that. So forgiveness.
Forgiveness
Oof.
is never for the person. It's
Mhm.
usually healing for you.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
definitely healing for you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that. So
Oh,
that's
sure.
a transformation
Yes.
that you have also noticed. And
So the transformation, I just want to touch on that a little
yeah.
bit. Transformation really did not start into a quest to help other people.
Mhm.
I was in a deep, dark depression and trying to figure things out with my life.
Mhm.
A quick story, I was gang raped. I had the spirit of rejection. My mother was going to abort me, so it started from the womb.
Mm.
And then after that, drank a lot, became an alcoholic.
Mhm.
And later on in life, you just start understanding. I was going to the church. Honestly, there's some church crisis that's in my book. And then the job. Oh goodness, I have some work wars is what I call in my job.
Mhm.
So there was no true outlet. So what I did,
Mm.
I truly took an internal accountability
Mm.
and I went out on a sabbatical
Mhm.
and I just spent time with God. That's when I understood the difference between religion, relationship, and spirituality.
Yes.
And so I became one seeking him, asking him, what is wrong with me? Please release this hurt. And then that's where the book was birthed. And then since I was able to transform my life, I started helping other people transform their lives.
Yeah.
And it's really, so the people that come to me, if you ever want to get rid of that deep, dark secret
Mhm.
that is burying you under and no one knows that secret,
Mhm.
I want to help you release that secret so that you can transform, become transparent, and
Mhm.
help someone else.
Transform to become transparent. I
Yes.
love it, Star.
Yes, thank you.
Transform so you can be
Absolutely.
transparent. Oh,
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
And hence you talked about your book. I got you.
Release all within transformation. Release all within transformation. Release all within.
And so how did this come about? Was this part of your healing journey as well?
It was, and it was the book, honestly, at the beginning, it was terrible. So I encourage anyone just to write. I call it vomit. You're going to vomit everything that happened to you.
Mhm.
And then after that, that was for me. That was healing for me.
Yeah.
And then I rewrote the book, healing other people. So it's short stories of what I went through, but magnanimous stories of how you can get out of that dark space.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
And that really is transformational.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is.
And so you still, as a bereavement coach, you still also work in the hospice space.
I
And so people
do.
can see you privately and people
Yes.
can pick up your book, which I
Yeah.
definitely suggest to pick up your book.
Yeah.
How can they get your book, Star?
You can go to my website. I am Natashay, Natashay, star.com. Again, I am natashaystar.com. I host holistic retreats, healing retreats.
There we go.
And
Beautiful.
and I am about to have my podcast. I'm excited about this.
And what would be the name of your podcast?
So everything with me is raw, release all within. And so it's a raw reality radio. And now we are actually turning it to visual. So I did a podcast before and it went well on iHeartRadio, ATL Talks. So now this is going to be E360, and prayerfully April 19th would be the launch date. So,
all right. So we're going to listen out for that as
and
well.
have a girl on the interview.
Switch it around.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to make sure that we cover both ends. We talk
Yes.
about healthy living.
Absolutely.
Here we talk about holistic healthy living, but
Yes.
there is also a holistic way of bereaving as well,
Yes.
and a holistic way of going through the grief and learning that I call when people pass is another lesson of love, a
Yes.
deeper level of love for yourself and for your fellow human being.
Yes.
And so I take that very personally, and being that I've witnessed that with close family members, I understand the power of being able to talk to other people,
Yes.
the power of having a circle of support, and the power of elevating what your beliefs once were and what you thought it was, and elevating it to another level, becoming enlightened. And so Star, you know that more and more, I don't know if you noticed it, Star, but more and more younger people are passing through.
They are.
And I don't know if it's the age, but it seems like every other day, every other week, you're
Yeah.
hearing about someone who is transitioning.
Yes.
And so there may be a fear around that. And so they need people like us to help them with the emotions, going through that and letting them understand the steps of grieving.
Yes.
And right. And then also to make sure that they have their things in order. Does hospice help with that? Making sure that you
Yes.
have your paperwork and everything in order?
Absolutely. So if you have a loved one, any age, I have a plethora of friends. Some deal with hospice with children because children need it.
Yeah.
You can call me for hospice if you have any hospice questions. Is it okay to give my number out?
Sure,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's 678-760-1758. Again, 678-760-1758. That way, if you have any hospice questions, I'll be more than happy to assist you with that. If I can, I have an entire team. I've been in hospice for years, and I've been in medical field since '99, so I know a few people. So I'm still young. I'm still young. I'm just playing.
Absolutely. This is relaxing, and people like for us to just be real. And so I just want to ask before we wrap up, what I always ask, I'm dealing with the 3 hearts, right? So what do you do to take care of your physical heart?
It's a place in Atlanta, Georgia called J. Jews. And if you are into she has my amethyst on.
She's been wanting to take it off since she's seen it.
So it's full of crystals. It's full of things that will pull out toxins out of your body. It's a healing. It will rejuvenate you. So I go there sometime for my heart. And I put that at least once a month.
Okay.
That's one of the things
one of your self-care
routines
that you do. And so how do you keep stable emotionally? Especially because you hear so many sad stories. What are you doing to make sure that you don't get off balance and pick up all those energies that people can put on you? You know what I mean?
I cleanse before I go home. I actually have an amethyst rock, just to channel out energy. I'm sorry about that. Just to channel energy. That was placed on me so it doesn't go into the home. That's one of the things I do. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I meditate, I pray. I was working out and I got out of it. So I know working out helps too, but I do stay in a constant meditation every morning. So
that also speaks what you do to uplift your spiritualness.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely. Yes, it does.
Right.
But I stayed prepared because you never know that phone call is good. Today, this morning, last night I had to go and admit a patient
Mhm.
at 6 p.m. and I could have pushed it off to the morning, but guess what? They died this morning. So if they
Wow.
weren't on our services,
Yeah.
we go out, we pronounce the patient, we
Mhm.
take care of that, we take that burden off of the family, we call, we make all of the arrangements.
Mhm.
So if I did not take that extra step and I was not in the state of mind of willingness, I'm a
Yeah.
light worker. I'm here to make people's life easier and better. So
Yeah.
that would not have happen if I don't meditate and if I don't
Yeah.
release
And
all within,
right.
right?
And getting
Yeah.
in tune. When
Absolutely.
you are in tune
Yes.
with yourself
Yes.
and with the universe, these things come to you.
Yeah.
These things come to you and help you to move at the right time. And for whatever reason, someone needed to hear this because she just called me and says, "Hey, you in the building?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm in the building. I'm in the conference room.
Yes.
Stop by and say hi."
Yes.
And then I said, "Oh, I just finished doing an interview." And she said, I said, "But I got to interview you, right?" I said, "When you want to do it?" She said, "Let's do it now." I was
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
that's what she said. Stay ready. So I was like,
Yes.
"What we gonna talk about?" But we gonna
I'm
talk
so
about it. I
glad
said,
we did
I'm
this.
easy. So yes.
Yes.
So I believe this. If you're tuning in,
Yes.
this is for you. And I want to thank you. And I want to thank Starr.
Yes, Carla. Yes. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I'm going to post how to get in touch with Starr so that you would be able to make sure that you and your loved ones are taken care of and knowing the different options. And Starr, if you had one tip to give our heartbeats out there, what would you tell them?
I say write a live list. Live list.
Nice.
And the bucket list, do away with that. I want you to write down anything and everything. I want it to do candle making, as simple as that. Guess what? I get a flyer from someone that says, "Would you like to make a candle? $30. I want to learn how to play golf." "Oh, it's millions of dollars. It's for the rich." It's $30. You can go ahead and invest in yourself and play a little round of golf. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Paris, budget for it. If you
That's
don't have,
right.
live your life. Tomorrow is not promised.
That's right.
And people are dying younger.
Yes.
Could you imagine dying? And you kept planning for something, for a bucket list that will never come because you don't know when your life is going to end. So you said, what would I have to say? Live full out and die empty.
Ooh. She's dropping. All right. Heartbeats, thank you for tuning in. Look forward to another episode.
Yes. That was good.